just unloads. Get out! Long gone. Oh my. Murakami. It is gone. My goodness, the Sox go back to back to back. 3 straight, 4 straight, 5 straight games with a home run as the power surge continues for the Sox. This has been so much fun to watch, this offensive explosion by the White Sox. We look at Will Venable and his team, the White Sox, the percentage of runs scored via the home run, leading Major League Baseball. Steve, the power is real.
Well, the power is there, and they've played in some pretty good parks to hit the ball out, and they're doing it consistently.
Take a look at this batting order. Andrew Benintendi back at the top. Munetaka Murakami followed by his guys. Vargas, Montgomery, those are the guys looking to keep the streaks alive. Pereira's in right, Antonacci, Mydroff, Peters, and Reese McGuire has the plate.
Former White Sox pitcher Michael Soroka. He's off to just a great start this year. 4 starts, a 2.78 ERA. Look at the strikeout walk ratio, 28-6.
First pitch by Soroka. That is in there, strike 1.
Let's see how he's going to use his stuff. That 4-seam fastball at 94 miles an hour, 34% of the time backed up by the slurve. The occasional change, a few sinkers and other pitches. He's got a few. Let's take a look at the defense that Torey Lovullo puts out there today with Barossa, Thomas, and Carroll in the outfield left to right. Arenado, Perdomo, Marte, Vargas, and Garcia behind the plate.
Andrew Benintendi back in the top of the order. He is behind in the count here, 0-2.
Our weather is presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 81 degrees right now, feels like 79, no humidity, but the roof is closed today, so you can still hit the ball out. It's just not quite as easy.
Well, we spoke to Will Venable this morning just about the approach against Michael Soroka. He said it's going to be a greater challenge this final game of the series than the first 2 starters they faced here against the Diamondbacks. Soroka has wipeout stuff, and he's been very good to start this season.
We'll look behind the plate, and we see Corey Blazer. Call strike 6% above Major League average, down to left-hand batters.
So Venable's looking for a 2-strike approach from his guys and trying to put more balls in play. I asked Benny about hitting leadoff. He said, it's maybe not my favorite position in the order to hit, but the team asked him. He said, you know what? I just want to win. If that's what we need, I'll do it. Pops it straight up near the roof. It is Marte settling underneath, and there's the first out of the ball game. Munetaka Murakami. This is what he's done in his last 5 games.
Great part about it is he's using the whole field, and if you make a mistake to him, it's going out of the ballpark, because when he gets his pitch, he's not missing it these days. Last night, he got a submarining right-hander and rifled it into right center field. He is enormously strong.
You see the power just even off that foul ball. What he has done over the course of this 5-game hitting streak, 11 for 22 with 10 runs driven in. And he is chasing Yordan Alvarez, who leads Major League Baseball with 11. Murakami just 1 behind.
We're going to see James Wood when we come back to Chicago.
That is one of the traits he has that I think makes him so special, his plate discipline, as pitchers are trying to figure out how to get him out here in Major League Baseball.
So when you talk about hitting the ball hard, Mooney is right at the top. Kurtz, Tatis, Wood, Rice, some elite hitters, and he's joining that club.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Miguel Vargas has been equally as impressive what he has done over his last 3 games.
Major League pitchers are trying to throw him inside on occasion, and his hands are really quick. And last night, he had a towering fly ball that just kept on going. This was a blast. So he's trying to homer in his 4th straight.
Running fastball, catches that inside corner. Strike 1 here to Vargas. We were seeing him hit the ball consistently to start the season, just wasn't getting the results. Before this 3-game home run streak started, in his previous 15 games, he was 6 for 55, and clearly he has broken out of it here.
Yeah, I mean, you could very well see it as he started to hit the ball harder and harder, and all of a sudden now they start going out of the ballpark.
0-2.
Soroka's always been a very smart pitcher. Early in his career, he was an overpowering pitcher, but Mother Nature and a few injuries have taken some of the big fastball away. However, he's still very smart. He still uses the corners and still changes speeds, especially on that breaking ball.
Statcast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. Take a look at Miguel Vargas and his 3 home runs over the last 3 games.
He would prefer pulling the ball if he could. We'll see how Soroka works him.
Michael Soroka was an all-star in his rookie year with the Braves back in 2019. As this one on the ground is short, Perdomo will make the play. Davis Martin has been the best pitcher on the staff for the White Sox this year. He gets the ball, and the White Sox try to win this series here in Arizona. The starting lineup for the Diamondbacks. This team slugged out 11 runs in the win last night against the White Sox. Perdomo leads things off at short. Marte, Caro, Del Castillo is the DH. Vargas, what a tear he has been on. Arenado with 4 hits last night. Barossa Thomas, the Chicago kid, and Aramis Garcia behind the plate.
There's a look at Davis Martin, who goes to the mound, and he's been pretty hot. This is 5th start, 25 innings, a 2.16 ERA. This is how he's going to use his stuff this afternoon. That 4-seamer at 25%, backed up by the cutter, the change, the sinker, the occasional slider, not too many curveballs. Let's see how Will lines them up defensively today with Antonacci, Peters, and Pereira in the outfield left to right. Then Vargas, Montgomery, Meidroth, and Murakami. Reese McGuire's got the plate, and we told you about Davis Martin.
Quickly 0-2. That one underneath the foot of Davis Martin. Montgomery making the play to start this bottom of the 1st inning.
It's a good man to retire because Perdomo's had quite a series, and in fact, a good enough series to hit him in the leadoff spot. And then you got Marte and Carroll behind him, and they're 2 of the main cogs of this machine.
There's a different pace that Davis Martin is pitching at recently. You can feel the confidence that he has on the mound, and it stems back to his first start of the season in Miami. As Davis Martin gave up 3 runs over 5 innings, but towards the later stages of that outing, he said, let me just get out of my head and just go at these guys. And he has taken his game to another level ever since.
Well, he throws a lot of pitches, but he throws a lot of strikes with those pitches, and so he doesn't get behind too often. And it's a pleasure to see Marte hitting from the left side as opposed to the right side, where he is far superior as a hitter and a power guy.
This one off the foot of Davis Martin tells Murakami to cover the bag, but it's going to be an infield single for Marte.
Difficult play for a first baseman because you just don't know what to do, and you don't know how far it's going to go on the carom. So you see Davis pointing to first base saying, I'll take this, you get back to the bag. Marte's got good speed. I don't think they'd have gotten him anyway. Turns out to be a base hit, and let's hope they're not aiming at Davis. First 2 hitters have gone right back at him, right back up the middle.
Corbin Carroll steps in. Let's take a look at what to watch for in this at bat against Davis Martin. Now, Davis Martin has 4-seam fastball. Opponents are hitting over 300 against him. And Corbin Carroll, he is a very good 4-seam fastball hitter. So, Steve, let's see how Davis Martin wants to navigate this at bat.
Anytime you're over 50% hard hit rate, you know that you're a pretty good fastball hitter. That takes very quick hands, and Carroll has those.
Corbin Carroll launches this one, but thankfully it hooks foul.
One of the reasons why Lovello hasn't even attempted with Marte a stolen base, because he's thinking about a 2-run homer instead of a 1-run homer.
Davis Martin blows it by him. First strikeout of the ball game.
Davis has a sneaky fastball because you look at the velocity and it doesn't say it's all that hard. Then he throws it at 95, which is not overwhelming by Major League standards, but it has some late life. You see that late movement at the end? Took it off the sweet spot, and he took down a really good hitter who had a big night last night.
It's a big pitch for Davis Martin because you take a look at hits allowed by pitch type. It's his cutter and his four-seam fastball that have been getting hit the most. Sinker, slider, curveball, those pitches have been unhittable this season.
Well, there's a couple things come into play. Number one, your best pitches will be the ones giving up the most hits because you throw them more frequently. But he knows he's got to change everything up. He's got to change speeds, change locations, and he's done a great job of it this year.
Del Castillo sends this one down the line in left field and out of play. It's just a different feeling when Davis Martin takes the ball in a start for the White Sox. There's just complete trust in him that he's going to take you deep into a ball game.
He's been the best of all the starters to this point, and he's fully intending on carrying that over a full season. His changeup really changed his career because the changeup was so good. It gave him another weapon against left-handers who are usually pretty tough against the right-handed pitchers.
2-2. White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. A getaway day here for the White Sox, a chance to win this series against the Diamondbacks. A Diamondbacks team that is very good, even though they're just third in the NL West, excuse me. This is a team that has been playing very well since getting swept in the opening series against the Dodgers.
When Gabriel Moreno comes back, they're going to be that much better.
This one is golfed into right field as Marte was off with the pitch. They're going to wave him in as the throw came into second, and he will score the first run of the ball game. It looked like they were holding him at third, but when that throw from Pereira came into second, they decided to send the runner.
When you have to go that far to your left, you're not going to get him at second base. It would have been nice for this ball to be thrown to my draw. Instead, when it goes to second, heads up base running play. He was off with the pitch, so he's looking for contact. Now he sees where the ball is. He doesn't have to worry about it. Now he picks up the third base coach who's saying, come on down.
See that little stutter step? There was a momentarily pause, a hold, and then when the throw went to second, they changed it up.
Well, that's exactly what happened. And he was good enough and fast enough to be able to make it. So we'll watch it here. Right here he stops, but the job of the third base coach is to read the throw. As soon as he saw it go into second, he just turned him loose.
See how far that third base coach came down that line.
Real challenge for a third base coach. You got runners at first and second. A guy hits a similar ball. You got to coach the guy that's coming around the bag, and then just as soon as he passes you, you got to get to the other guy and get in his line of sight.
part of the reason why the Diamondbacks are such a difficult team to play. Seems like a very minor thing there with that throw coming into second, but every little detail they will take advantage of, and an early 1-0 lead for Arizona.
Torey Lovullo knows in that division you got to come loaded every day because the Dodgers and the Padres are both really good teams.
On the ground to second. Drop with the throw, and that'll do it for this first inning. When we come back, Colson Montgomery, will he be? It is time for our lines to watch, presented by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We check out the odds for White Sox home run hitters today. Steve, these are all the guys who are streaking. Who do you like?
The value play, Miguel Vargas. Because I do believe if he does hit one today, it's never been done. With 3 hitters homering in at least 4 straight games, all on the same team in the same lineup.
Top of the second, White Sox trail 1-0. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Now, what's interesting about what we're seeing right now, it's so much fun, right? You're seeing the power, you're seeing the hits. But Will Venable said these young players, they're not satisfied with what's happening because you look at the record for the White Sox, 9-15. Nobody's happy with that right now, so they're not satisfied with just hitting home runs. This team is still trying to find ways to win ball games.
It's a very young team trying to coalesce together as a winning unit. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you come from a lot of different places, as the Sox roster has. But these guys are good enough where if they start believing in themselves, and we're starting to see it on a daily basis, they can be a very dangerous team.
Popped up and flared to left field, and it's going to drop in front of Barossa. So Colson Montgomery now with a 6-game hit streak. Let's go to Brooke for a scoop from the clubhouse.
Yeah, guys, Munetaka Murakami might be new to Major League Baseball, but the way he carries himself and goes about his business, he's like a veteran. And for a young White Sox team, there's a lot of value in that. Miguel Vargas said that he's been this guy since day one of spring training, just leading by example. And for him, he's really made a point to just study him, and it's pushed him to want to be a better player. And if you look at Miguel Vargas's numbers, the results, they're showing up. But he said it best, you guys. He goes, this guy, he works so hard. He deserves every bit of success that he is getting. That's the type of superstar you want in the clubhouse.
You want to have your superstar get to the park early, work harder than everybody else, and lead by example. He doesn't have to say much of anything to these guys, but they're going to look at him and saying, 2-time MVP, 56 home runs. I'm going to work like that guy.
Even defensively, every day you look at the pregame, he's working on something very different. He's trying to just sharpen all the tools in his arsenal, and you can tell everybody is taking notice of that.
Well, look, he was a third baseman, moved across the diamond, and everybody says, you know, ground ball's a ground ball. It's not that easy. It's a more difficult position because you have a lot more involvement at first base.
Pereira comes up empty on that fastball. Everson Pereira with a .295 batting average here for the White Sox. And he did not go around. Adam Beck on the call at first.
You can look at that stance, and he has an inverted front foot, and a lot of hitters will tell you they do that so it reminds them to stay back. Eloy Jimenez hit with an elevated front foot. You can keep your weight on your back foot that way a lot easier.
Chased that one. Second strikeout for Soroka. Well, last time we saw Sam Antonacci with the start, and inside the park home run on Tuesday.
Gurriel just gives up on it, and when he gives up on it, Sam doesn't. He keeps on running, and there it is. Home run number 1 in his career. Sox saw that happen with a rookie in 1976. Been a long time.
Antonacci said a lot of players would have given up on a ball like that, just cruised into second base. But the type of player I am, those are those kind of plays. I'm never going to give up. I'm always going to give my all. And I really feel like White Sox fans are going to come to enjoy him.
Now you get a chance. Maybe he can show a little power because he's got power. Right now he's intent on hitting the ball where it's pitched. That'll be the kind of hitter he is. But when you're in a hitter's count, as 2-0 is, that's when you look to drive one.
Out of the zone, 3-0. Do you give the rookie the green light here?
I wouldn't give him the green light yet. I think Will very likely will, but his job is to get on base still as a table setter. Even if he had the green light, John, that's not a pitch you want to swing at. That's kind of just the top of the strike zone. That's one that you hit in the air, and with the roof closed, you'll be hard pressed to get him out unless you're big and strong. We got a couple of those guys.
So Soroka back in this at bat as the count is now full. Even with all the injuries and everything he has faced in his career, he's still just 28 years old on the mound.
That's one of the reasons why the Diamondbacks wanted him. And Torey Lovella met him at a place called Lucy's. They had coffee. He agreed to a deal right there.
Montgomery takes off. It is grounded to second base. White Sox avoid the double play, and there's 2 down here in the second. Rate is a proud partner of the 2026 White Sox. The Rate app gives Chicago fans an all-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today.
Derek Showman, the hitting coach, pulled Meidner out the side. They were talking before the game, and we'll see if it turns into a run batted in here.
How about the job of Derek Showman and what he has done in his first year as the hitting coach for the White Sox? White Sox scored 60 runs over their first 19 games. Now, since this road trip started over the last 5 games, they put up 40 runs on this road trip.
Interesting part about it is it's almost like a salesman, because they all have, a lot of them have individual hitting coaches. So for Derek, number one, if you buy me, then you'll buy what I'm going to tell you. And if the hitter buys into what Derek is telling them, they're probably going to get something accomplished.
Ground ball and a diving stop by Perdomo. Gets to his feet, no play. An infield single for Chase Meidner.
This saves a run for the moment. And you see Jersley just saying right here, that's the third base coach's job. When the ball is in the infield, you have to tell the runner, stay right here, because you know that throw is coming behind you if you stray.
Justin Jersley at third, giving instructions to Colson Montgomery.
That was a nice job there, because he picked up the sight line and pointed to the bag.
I dropped a little flinch at first, but does get back safely. Justin Jersley does a great job not only sending or holding the runners, but deals with all the infield work, and he has really helped Miguel Vargas and a lot of these young guys take their defensive game to the next level. Two outs, Tristan Peters at the dish. What we've become accustomed to see, third baseman creeping in anytime Peters comes up.
Well, he's shown enough bunts now, and not only just a push bunt, but a drag bunt, that you have to play him in at the corners.
Peters hits it on the line, but right at Carroll and right. And a couple runners stranded here in the second. Last night, it was a wild one. We saw the streaks continue for Murakami, Montgomery. Bottom of the second we go here in Arizona. The Diamondbacks with a 1-0 lead over the White Sox. As Nolan Arenado steps in, what a renaissance he is having.
Having a big series, 6 hits so far. Last night he got on base all 5 times. Drove in 3 runs, scored 2 runs, hit a homer. Couldn't do much more.
Had a slow start to the season for the Diamondbacks, but it seems like the rest of this lineup is starting to increase their play over the last 9 games for Nolan Arenado, hitting .406 with 4 home runs, 12 runs driven in.
And at 35 years old, for most players in the league, you're guilty until proven innocent. When you get to be in your mid-30s, you're going to have to produce, and he's done that. Plus, he gives you a magnificent glove.
Davis Martin, second strikeout today. Let's go to Brooke.
Guys, Shohei Ohtani continues his dominant six scoreless innings from him, lowering his ERA to .38. However, his on-base streak did end at 53 games. Or excuse me, at 53. And let's talk about the Brewers, because they're in an interesting situation here. They are facing Cy Young winners back-to-back. So they got Tarik Skubal today and Paul Skeens tomorrow. This is the second time in MLB history that this has happened. And Michael Busch has been on an absolute heater, homered in back-to-back games versus the Phillies. He's actually the first lefty to take Christopher Sanchez deep since last July. Pretty impressive stuff, guys.
Phillies could use some help right now. And one of their big arms, Zach Wheeler, is set to make his season debut on Saturday.
And the Phillies were down fairly substantially, but now have battled back. It's a 6-5 game in Chicago. That game in the bottom of the 7th. Phillies are truly struggling.
It was the Mets. The Mets ended that epic losing streak, as it's now 3 punch-outs here for Davis Martin, making quick work.
So far, most of these Diamondbacks are not picking up the spin. You see this one just dive straight down, and Barossa over the top.
Is that curveball from Davis Martin?
I think he's trying to refine that. That's one that he really wants to get much more comfortable, and that is a rotation pitch, not necessarily a velocity pitch. So if you can feel the spin out of your hands, you pull down, usually with your middle finger, you push up with your thumb. Usually that's it. It gives you the most spin, and that one just dive bombed out of the zone.
It has been his best pitch, even though he hasn't maybe used it the most. Has not given up a hit on that curveball yet this season.
It's pretty impressive. And again, I believe in a dome with the roof closed, I don't think you see the spin quite as well. And so being a curveball guy myself, I always loved domes. And you see right now, I mean, Davis has got just about everything that he can use. He's got a lot of weapons, and he uses them all very well in the strike zone the majority of the time.
Explain that a little bit. You're saying now the hitters are not picking up the curveball inside of a dome, but if a hitter's looking at the batter's eye, what's different if the roof is open or closed?
To me, I mean, in Tampa Bay, they used to say that all the time. By the time the sight came for hitters, it was time for the 3-game series to end, but the Tampa Bay hitters very used to that.
Tapper back to Davis Martin, bobbles, but makes the throw in time. A 1-2-3 second inning, including 2 punch-outs for Davis Martin. Welcome back. Wait, is that guy wearing a full suit in the pool? Okay. Top of the 3rd we go. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. That is a look right there. In the hot tub, full suit and tie.
I'm not sure what kind of look, but it is a look. You're certainly right about that.
Something tells me there was a bet or some kind of fantasy football something involved there. Might have to get Brooke on it.
That would be something that I think Mike Vassell might do. That seems to be Vassell-esque.
Vassell-esque. Now the good news is we will be able to feature Mike Vassell this season on our Friday night All Access broadcast, which for the first time start tomorrow to start this season. Super excited to come back home to Chicago tomorrow.
It's really an interesting show, and if you haven't seen one, please join us tomorrow night. You'll see things you haven't seen. We have access that we'd never had before. Was the brainchild of Chris Withers, our fine producer, and he is making it into an art form week after week after week.
Chasing out of the zone, strike 3. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for Friday night All Access. Justin Jerschley, who we just saw, third base coach, he will be mic'd up. We'll talk to Will Venable, Noah Schultz, Miguel Vargas, also Chris Getz, Derek Showman, the hitting coach, Zach Bove, the pitching coach. We're getting everybody involved.
This is like a cast of thousands. But the great thing about it is, and credit to the White Sox organization for allowing us that kind of access, because a lot of major league teams wouldn't do that. Sox are doing it under Will Venable, and it's worked out exceptionally well.
Hit hard by Benny into right field. A one-out single here in this third inning.
Soroka unhappy with himself because he left this one out over the plate. It's dead center. It's his breaking ball that didn't break, and center cut usually gets hit hard, and Benny obliges.
Second at bat for Munetaka Murakami. Struck out his first time up. As part of Friday Night All Access, I'm really looking forward to when we get a chance to talk to General Manager Chris Getz. They'll be in the booth with both of us, and he's always great with us because there's nothing off limits. He never gives us questions that we can or cannot say. And one thing I really want to know is, what did he see in Murakami that other teams did not, that got the White Sox to pull the trigger in the offseason?
Well, look, everybody knew he had a lot of power. Everybody knew you win 2 most valuable players, you're a pretty good player. A lot of teams were worried about contact. But because he lays off so many pitches because of his eye, he hits pitches in the strike zone. And now you give him the 3-0 green light. That's what you do right here.
He has homered in 5 straight games. .30 pitch. Murakami rifles this one past Marte over his head at second. So back-to-back singles by the Sox here in this third inning.
He hits the 3-0 green light, and he gets it in a spot that he really likes. Eases it over the head of Marte, and so the Sox have something going here.
This will be pitch number 50 in this ball game for the starter, Soroka. As Vargas pops this one up foul territory. The first baseman Vargas chasing, but out of play.
Dimensions here pretty spacious. 407 to center field. It gets to 413 just on the other side of center. But only 374 in the power alleys, where most of the home runs are hit.
Baseball runs in the family for Miguel Vargas. His father was an absolute superstar, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Team Cuba. And he grew up idolizing his dad, going to the fields with his dad as a kid. And Soroka lost his footing there on that pitch.
This is some stop here, because if he doesn't stop it, it's going to be 2 runners in scoring position. Anytime a ball bounces in front of the plate, especially wide like that, you just have to put the glove out and hope. And he was able to get it done.
Join us at the ballpark tomorrow as the White Sox take on the Washington Nationals at 6:30. 10,000 fans will receive a Miguel Vargas bobblehead presented by Fanatics. Plus, this part is new. The first 100 fans who spend $125 at the team store will get a signed Vargas bobblehead. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
Good job of checking it up right there. Soroka tried to heat him upstairs inside. He got it where he wanted to. The appeal to Adam Beck, he said he did not swing.
Breaking ball stayed in the zone, drilled into center. Benintendi, he'll be waved in. No throw to the plate. And this game is tied. RBI single for Miguel Vargas here in the third.
Drives in his 13th run, and this is a good at bat. He was down. He fought his way back, then he got a hanging curveball, and Soroka has done that twice this inning. Never a good sign when you start doing that early. He's done it twice. It's cost him a couple of hits, and now it's cost him a run in a game that is tied at 1.
White Sox showing they can get it done with something other than the long ball. As Murakami has singled in this third, and Vargas following him up with a RBI single. And now Colson Montgomery.
Well, this type of offense is what Will's been talking about. He says you got to learn how to beat teams a number of different ways, because sometimes you're going to face a pitcher who's not going to allow you to hit the ball out of the park. Here's an example: 3 straight singles, tie the game.
Colson Montgomery singled his first time up. White Sox now have 5 hits in this ball game. Throw to second as Murakami dives back at the bag.
He was straying off the bag a little bit. Fortunately, he was able to get back in under the tag. Domo is using a little gamesmanship.
They've been chatting this entire series. Colson Montgomery, that one will drop into right field. Murakami paused momentarily. That's why he is stopped at third.
Well, that was one that he probably would like to have scored on, because if you read that, there was no chance it was going to get to either Carroll or Thomas. It's hit off the end of the bat, and sometimes base runners should be playing with their ears as much as anything. But after holding up, Jersley just says right here, can't score on that. He hesitated twice. He didn't read it, but he certainly didn't want to get doubled off, and I think that was on his mind. And
this is the approach Will Venable talked to us about before the game. Michael Soroka has wipeout stuff. You can't try to do too much against a pitcher like that. And we're seeing it from this offense. 4 straight singles with 1 out here in this third inning.
Ryan Kaplan comes out to have a word with Soroka, who has not been getting hit this hard this year. So 6 hits already in the early going, and a great chance to add something.
So the bases are now loaded for Everson Pereira. Pereira's a guy, he will never get cheated at the plate. He has got, probably next to Murakami, the most power on this team.
He just has to be aware. Soroka is going to try to wipe him out with a lot of curves and sliders out of the zone away.
On his line, not caught. So Vargas is tagged in a double play with the force out at second. That's how they end the threat here in this top of the third.
Heads up play by Perdomo. Unfortunately, it turns into 2. Chicago Sports Network is your home for White Sox baseball, so stream every game plus pre- and post-game coverage with Chuck and Ozzie, all on the CHSN app. Start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
How smart of a play was that by Perdomo? Could have caught that in the air, deciding now to let it drop, got the tag and the force out at the bag to end the threat.
Unfortunately, this Diamondback team is a pretty smart team.
Aramis Garcia Bottom of the order, a single to start this bottom of the third. Let's go to Brooke. What else you got in your notebook?
Yeah, guys, I had a chance to catch up with Kyle Till just to see how he's doing, and he told me he's actually really relied on Austin Hayes during this timeout, just talking about the game within the game, and also how to deal with these hamstring issues. You know, Austin Hayes has dealt with that throughout his career, and so Kyle said sometimes I can be all gas, no brakes, so Austin's done a really good job just trying to tell me, hey, you got to listen to your body. Another fun fact, Eric Fetty was actually roommates with Michael Soroka last spring, and he said he was a great roommate. He's Canadian. Of course, he's nice, but he was also a really good cook. They had a good system. He would cook, and Eric would actually clean, but these guys have remained good friends. They live down the street from each other in the offseason here in Arizona, and Eric said it's been really cool just to see the success that Soroka's had so far this season, guys.
Well, it's a great start to this year, and Michael Soroka is hoping that it continues. The Sox are hoping that he has a tough day today and then pitches lights out the rest of the way.
Inside, that one does not get far enough away from McGuire, so the runner stays put at first. So first time through the order, Davis Martin gave up 3 hits and a run here to the Diamondbacks as he faces Perdomo for the second time. Strike 3 called. 4th strikeout today.
Good backdoor breaking ball, and he froze Perdomo. You want the hitter to give up. He sees the spin away, and then all of a sudden this one has a good portion of the outer part of the plate.
So 40 pitches with 1 out here in the third. What are you seeing early on from Davis Martin?
I think the stuff is good today. It's pretty lively, and now he's got great command of that curveball, which he's throwing repeatedly, and he's just mystifying these Diamondbacks. I think the confidence in that curveball is what really makes it a special pitch for him, because he knows he can get it over the plate, so he can throw at any count, and the hitter can't sit and look for it.
Del Marte hits this one hard to Murakami. Starts it off for 1 at second. Back to first. Double play turned.
I like the way Marte hustled on that. Steinhoffel's double play. Steinhoffel's donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference. This one could have never been completed without the lack of hustle by Marte. If he's going full go, he probably beats this play. He doesn't. It's out of the inning, and the Sox will certainly take it.
Sam Antonacci leads things off for the Sox. 6, 7, 8 to the plate here in this 4th. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota. 1-1 game here, and the decider here in this 3-game series.
Pretty tough to bunt on Arenado, who's one of the elite defenders in the league, and plus he is in on the grass. So Sam's probably not thinking about laying it down this at bat.
Got to imagine there'd be some emotions on the mound for Michael Soroka facing his former team. He was with the White Sox back in 2024. And trying to prove to the rest of the league that he still has plenty left at 28 years old. This one fought off into left field, but Rosa is there for the first out in the 4th inning. Think about it, a long, winding journey for Michael Soroka. Was a first-round pick of the Braves back in 2015 out of high school in Canada. His first 4 seasons in the big leagues were with the Braves, but he had those injuries after that incredible rookie year he had as an all-star in 2019. Then he was eventually traded to the White Sox in 2024, was a starter with the Sox. Wasn't as effective, but became a lot better once the White Sox moved him to the bullpen the second half of the season. And I remember talking to him about it. He said, coming out of the bullpen, he said, I don't feel like I have to pace myself like I do as a starter. and he really learned to lean on his fastball and just kind of give it everything he had to get his career try to back on track.
Well, there's been a lot of guys that have become starting pitchers only to see their success in the bullpen. There's a few guys who have done both. Dennis Eckersley comes to mind, Hall of Famer, Cy Young Award winner.
Grab your friends and head to the park for Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. Get 1 ticket and 2 beers starting at $24. You must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews.
Peter's going to take a look down to first base and find Vargas back. This is a good time to drag a bunt. See how far back they are on the right side.
For Soroka, after it didn't work out with the White Sox in 24, started with the Nationals, then ended up with the Cubs last year, and then signing a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks in the offseason. Tristan Peters will dump this one into center field as Peters picks up his first hit today.
This keeps the inning alive and forces Soroka to make some more pitches. He's unhappy with the location. He's using too much of the plate a lot this afternoon, and something that he hasn't been doing this year. So you see, shaking his head, it was location more than anything else that turned into the base hit.
This will be pitch number 70 for Soroka on the mound. McGuire's 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up in the third. Notice Soroka, a couple slide steps now with Peters on at first with a ton of speed.
Well, you can't hide much from the league. The advanced scouting report is going to tell you who bunts, who has the 3-0 green light, who will run, and then you put it in the memory banks in a situation like this.
As we've seen with other guys on base, he has a very big leg kick and can be long to the plate, but clearly an effort to be a little quicker with Peters on at first.
There's a lot of times when 0-2 might be the best pitch to run on, because you figure a guy try to bury a breaking ball or throw a high fastball that takes the catcher wide of the plate.
Ground ball. It is Marte with the throw, and that'll do it for this top of the 4th inning, tied at 1.
Against four-seam fastballs this season, he's hitting over 300 and slugging over 800. So if you make a mistake in the zone, especially with a fastball, he's been making teams pay. But you've really saw a jump from 2024 to 2025. If you take a look there, the average was up, the slug was way up, and you're seeing just a big increase in that hard contact, guys.
One of the reasons why, Brooke, is that he actually increased his swing velocity, which is something that a younger player can do. The guy's been around for a while. Makes it more difficult. But Davis Martin's not going to give him a four-seamer to hit. You can still throw him the four-seam fastball, but you want to throw it up out of the zone or just off the outside corner. You certainly don't want to make it hittable.
Corbin Carroll sends this one to center as Peters comes in to make the catch. First out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But we figured it out. The people out in the pool in suits, it is a local law firm. They sponsored the pool, they bought the suite, and I guess it's all part of a promotion that they're all getting in there with their suits on.
Did they buy the suits? Easy to buy the suites.
So you can rent out the entire pool section with a hot tub. You get 40 tickets. I would imagine that's got to be a pretty cool experience for anyone coming to a ball game.
Absolutely, because there are very few places you can do that.
Breaking ball, just missing down. 2 balls and a strike here to Adrian Del Castillo.
Del Castillo doubled in a run in the first inning.
Hit hard, diving stop by Murakami, the flip, and they get the out. What a play at first by Murakami.
You know, John, you mentioned how hard he works before the game, and they're working on one-hop rockets. We've seen him taking that at least one game in this series, and it came in handy here. This is a rocket, and the biggest part of this is it came with overspin. Then Davis Martin gets there, has enough balance to make the tag in the bag, and Adam Beck calls him out. This is a fine play on both ends.
You know, Justin Jerschley is smiling inside the White Sox dugout. All the work he puts in with Murakami.
What was interesting, one of the things he did was Justin was standing right around second base, hitting one-hop rockets, short hopping him, and he was hitting him just about as hard as he could hit him. Murakami was picking just about everything.
Line drive to right field. Pereira will hold up as it falls in front. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law.
Vargas has been around with a lot of different teams, but he's finding gold in the desert. He was hitting .364 coming in. He's doing a little better than that.
Now has an 18-game hit streak to start this season and 21-game hit streak overall dating back to last season. That leads Major League Baseball as the longest active hit streak going right now.
And over a couple of games, he actually hit 3 home runs and 3 at-bats. So whatever it is that they've gotten the water down here for Vargas, he's doing quite a job of this start of the season.
Good fastball from Davis Martin. Arnado, one of the 4 strikeout victims. One-two.
With Arenado, if you go in, you have to go way in because he does still have quick hands, and what a series it's been for him.
Line drive to left field, but Antonacci makes the play to get out of this 4th inning. Well, it's been all pitching so far to start this one, as the first 2 were home run derbies in this series. A 1-1 ball game. This should be a good one to decide this series here in Arizona.
Welcome back. Andrew Benintendi has really found his stride, especially in that leadoff spot. And coming into this season, he wanted to focus on getting on base and using the whole field. But if you look at his spray chart there, a lot of his success has actually come to the pull side. And Venable said that's perfectly fine because that's who he is at his best. He told him, just be yourself. Don't try to force anything. And right now, that approach is really starting to show up in his results, guys.
Taking one for the team. Not his favorite in the leadoff spot, but feels like he does a good job setting the table. He's a little superstitious, so when I wanted to know what he was doing well at the plate, he said, I don't really want to talk about my approach. I said, we're good. Can we talk about the young guys? He said, oh, of course. He said he's been really impressed with the other young hitters on this team because even though they weren't seeing the results, never saw panic from anyone on the squad. Said it was that Rays series where he felt like balls were starting to get hit hard, still hitting at people, and then really this team breaking out that first game in Sacramento.
The veterans are very important on a young team, and the White Sox are a young team. So a couple of guys who've been around a while, they can explain to the youngsters each and every situation, what to look for and how to do it. And then it's up to the young player. You want to take the advice or you want to disregard it.
Benny's a guy who just makes himself available, and it happens in more natural settings, like when they're in the batting cage together, waiting for their next turn in the rotation. A guy may ask him a question, and he's always giving his time to them. It's not necessarily as formal as, hey, Rook, get over here. You know, it's more of a, if it comes up in an organic conversation, that's when he gives his advice to what's going on.
I think Benny's the kind of guy, if you come to him, he'll tell you anything, but he's not going to come to you a lot.
3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. We take a look at Munetaka Murakami, 10 home runs to start his rookie year.
4 for the four-seamer, 2 with the cutter, then the sinker, changeup, slider, and curveball, all 1 each.
Not only is he looking for a home run in 6 straight games today, but if he hits a home run, he'd be just the 4th player in Major League Baseball history to have 11 or more home runs in his first 25 career games.
Well, you see the Soroka game plan. He wants to show him fastballs upstairs. He would prefer if he swung at them, but then his wipeout pitch is going to be something down and in out of the strike zone. So he showed him a couple of high fastballs, then went down and in out of the strike zone, but Murakami has shown he's not going to swing at too many pitches out of the zone. He's got a very good eye.
2 balls and a strike. Top of the 5th, tied at 1. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. Well, you see the difference in the hit distribution. All singles or home runs. And I'll tell you what, you called it. You said this park would play drastically different with the roof closed, and this is not the home run derby we have seen in these first 2 games of the season.
Even
this series.
Even the sound off the bat is different with the roof open.
Chases that one, strike 3.
Follow our Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side. He was only going to show Murakami 2 spots, down and in, upstairs. And if he swung at him, that's good. He was willing to walk him rather than give up a home run here.
Got to admit, the stuff from Michael Soroka, it is legit. This is the best we have seen him pitch in the major leagues in quite some time.
And in fact, that he can command all 4 quadrants makes him even tougher. But he's been throwing strike 1 a lot. And that starts off, in fact, 18 of 21 first pitch strikes. That'll usually get you a pretty good performance.
He's got 6 strikeouts already. All of them have been swinging, and that was the fear, that his stuff creates a ton of swing and miss. One, 2. Two outs here in this top of the 5th inning. As Soroka is looking to strike out the side.
Colson Montgomery waiting to get his turn, hoping it's this inning. What's kind of surprising is that Thomas in center field, who's got a lot of speed, is playing him almost straight up, because Vargas, for the most part, likes to pull the ball.
Soroka up over 90 pitches here in this outing. Here's his payoff. And ball 4. That Sox walk is presented by IDOT. Stop for pedestrians. It's not a game.
So the first walk of the ball game. And the inning stays alive for Montgomery, who's having a real good start to this game.
Interesting contract for Michael Soroka. He was given a 1-year, $7.5 million deal, and he can get up to $2 million extra in incentives. Now, as reported by Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, he will earn 2 points for every start, 1 point for every relief appearance. So clearly a lot more incentive if he continues in being a starter here. Now, he'll get $250,000 if he reaches the 10-point and the 20-point mark. $425,000 if he reaches the 30 and 40-point mark. And if he reaches 50 points, which would be 25 starts, he gets $650,000 extra there.
That'll give you a good meal in Scottsdale. Might even take your friends with that too. No, but for Michael, I'm happy for him because he is a good guy. He was a very good member of the White Sox, and the only thing that's really ever stopped him in his career has been the injuries. When he's healthy, he's been a very competent starting pitcher.
He is 4-0 to start this season, as he has been a big boost to the rotation here for the Diamondbacks. But the White Sox are trying to knock him out of this game as his pitch count is creeping up to 100. One-two pitch, runner goes up and in, throw down to second, and a stolen base.
He popped up the bag.
Vargas. No, it looks like they're calling interference.
It looked like, I mean, if the guy who tags you knocks you off the bag, you're safe. Doug Eddings on the call. So he's blocking the bag with his left foot. You can't do that. Used to be able to, but you can't do it any longer. So it was interesting. A safe call, an out call, and then interference. A safe call.
As long as they get it right.
Yep. I mean, Torrey can come out there and talk about it, but it was apparent when he planted his foot that that was going to be a problem for him. You have to allow the sliding runner to get to the bag. Unfortunately, Miguel didn't get hurt, because that's easy to get hurt in that situation, and he's pleading his case and he won it.
Very alert heads up play by Miguel Vargas. Slid right into that foot, pointed down at it, and got that interference call. Runner in scoring position, and the pitch is fouled away.
Bullpen up and going. Kevin Ginkel. The past few years has been a very good setup man.
2-2. And Colson Montgomery will have to get a new bat.
He did a nice job of staying alive, because that was off the plate inside right on his hands, and he was able to make enough contact to keep the count at 2-2. He's been a workhorse. In this day and age, those are pretty good numbers. 89 plus pitches, 5 starts in a row.
This will be pitch number 100 for Soroka. 2-2. Montgomery pulls it foul. That thing into the third deck.
115 miles an hour exit velocity. So when you are talking about hitting the ball hard, he's one of those guys that can consistently do it.
Wow. There is the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Near to left. It is Barossa with the catch. And that'll end the 3.
This Sunday, Top Prospects returns for a new season. So follow the next wave of White Sox talent. Billy Carlson, Sam Antonacci, and Tanner McDougal on their journey from the minors to the majors. Episode 1 premieres Sunday, following the White Sox post-game live. So stream it on the CHSN app or CHSN a bunt.
There's a bunt as Davis Martin fields his position. Seamless transition from the promo, Steve.
I figured it was wise to cut the promo off at that point and actually go back to the field of play. It's a nice effort, but it's a great play by Davis Martin. He gets to the ball quickly, throws it on the button, and that will probably save a lot of problems in this inning.
You know, one of the things that's really helped Davis Martin out this season, he's a huge hoops fan. He's been watching a lot of Kobe Bryant videos. He said Kobe Bryant was one of the best.
The batter's challenging the call of strike.
First is challenge from Alec Thomas, ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The ball. Arizona has 2 challenges remaining.
So the call is overturned.
Turns out to be a pretty good challenge because that one didn't miss by much. Overturned by fielders, 59%. That's the catcher who's got the best view of it.
But Davis Martin was saying with basketball, guys, they train, they work, they prepare, but when they're out on the court, instead of thinking, it's more instinctual, and they just go out and do it. He said that's what I've been trying to channel here on the mound as another challenge.
The catcher is challenged to call the ball.
McGuire said, I think that one had the plate, but it dipped low, it appeared.
Just missing.
The call is confirmed. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
Both of those were very close to one another. 0.3 on one, 0.6 on the other.
So a 3-0 count here to Thomas. And a walk. Sox fans head down to the ballpark Saturday as the White Sox take on the Nationals at 3 o'clock. 15,000 fans 21 years and over will receive a 90s City Connect jacket presented by Miller Lite. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
This is where Davis Martin has really got to watch Thomas well, because this is a situation where he most likely will be going somewhere in the sequence. Big lead at first.
There he goes. Throw down to second. And a stolen base for Thomas.
Alec Thomas is now 4 for 4 in stolen bases. Not the easiest ball to handle. And he's in scoring position.
Aramis Garcia singled in his last at bat in the 3rd. That was his first hit in Major League Baseball since 2023. Seen some injuries already by position players by the Diamondbacks. One of the bigger ones, Carlos Santana, out at first base. That is why Vargas has been getting a lot of playing time there.
And he's turning it into a very productive season.
Bottom of the 5th, this half inning is brought to you by Prevagen.
When I talked to Terry Lavello, he said Gabriel Moreno coming back is the key, but he said we also miss Pavin Smith. He's coming back too, and with their division the way it is, you can't afford to get too far down. Those two guys are good offensive players for them, and their returns are going to make the Diamondbacks that much tougher.
amazing what they've done, though, to start this season. We talked about getting swept in that opening series against the Dodgers, and they have not lost a series since. They won their series against the Tigers following that up, split 4 against Atlanta, beat the Mets, Phillies, Orioles, and Blue Jays, as Davis Martin brings up Garcia. Time now for a message from Ankin Law.
Howard, my husband fell at a construction site. I knew it wasn't safe.
At Ankin Law, we're one of the largest filers of workers' compensation claims in the state. If you've been hurt on the job, in a car accident, or suffered a medical mistake, call 312-6-million.
So third time through the order, as Perdomo is 0 for 2 to start this one. Came into play today in the last 6 games. Perdomo hitting .522, including 3 triples in the first 2 games of this series. Pick all play at second. Thomas back safely.
Montgomery got there ahead of Thomas, but you weren't going to pick him off anyway. I would think Perdomo would have the 3-0 green light.
Good pitch by Martin. Trying to get back into this at bat.
Even with the 3-0 green light, you're not swinging at one just barely on the black on the outside part of the plate.
Trying to strand that runner at second with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Oof. Perdomo felt that one.
He's going to feel that for a while. Went inside the pitch before and inside this one, and even wearing the protection on that lead leg, he's still going to feel that.
Here's the payoff. Got him swinging. Nasty stuff from Davis Martin as this game stays tied.
Nice job of getting out of this. It's our special here on CHSN. Tomorrow it's White Sox and Nationals with our first Friday night all-access game this season. We bring you closer to the game with exclusive moments and in-depth coverage. Don't miss it. Stream it live on the CHSN app. You can start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. And Kevin Ginkel comes on. Game tied at 1. He's on for the 11th time. The ERA a little bit higher than he would like at 4.66.
So the White Sox get Soroka out of the game. That's the first one missing here to Everson Pereira. 0 for 2 so far with a strikeout and a double play ground out. Fly ball to left field. As Barossa grabs it, We go down to Brooke with one out here in the 6th.
Yeah, guys, Sam Antonacci said that his first big league homer being inside the park pretty much just sums up who he is as a player, gritty and unorthodox. And John, like you pointed out, that he said most guys probably would stop at second and take the double, but that's just not how he plays. He took the extra bases and made it happen. And I caught up with Paul Yanish, and he told me that the player development group chat was even blowing up, jokingly like, of course, that would be his first homer. But of course, we had to ask the king of homers, Munetaka Murakami, about it, and he laughed and said next time Sam should get a, quote, normal one. But, I think that's a good start for him.
I like normal home runs, but inside the park home runs are nice too, as long as I'm not running.
And especially when they visit the other team's ball person gets in the way. You don't want to have that happen at home in Chicago.
I don't think it's going to happen here anymore either.
Because?
They might have mentioned, maybe you guys have seen enough.
Antonacci will ground out 2 away here in the 6th inning. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. Well, when it happens twice in less than a week, you would understand why the team would want to make some moves. And now they have security personnel without gloves on the field.
It's going to make it less likely to try to catch anything down there, especially something that comes down with a little something on it.
Chase Bydroth rips that one to center. He's got 2 hits here today. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/White Sox, the official source for your Chicago White Sox gear.
For Bydroth, that was an example of what the Sox have been telling him about. Be more aggressive early in the count. Maybe that first fastball is the best pitch you're going to see. He jumped on it. He's 2 for 3.
By moving him down in the order and putting Benintendi at the top, maybe it helps Bydroth that he doesn't have to be as patient, right? When you're the leadoff hitter, you want to see some pitches, you want to help your guys out. Now he can just kind of do his thing.
Well, he seems very comfortable doing it. That batting average is rising.
Grounded to Marte. And the White Sox are retired. This top of the 6th. All right, if you're just joining us on this Thursday afternoon, let's get you caught up. Adrian Del Castillo, an RBI double, made it 1-0 Diamondbacks in the first.
Stayed that way for a while, but a hanging breaking ball up in the zone, and Miguel takes it right back through the middle.
How good has Davis Martin been? 5 innings, only giving up that 1 run.
6 strikeouts, and he's gotten ahead of most of these hitters. That looked close enough, but he didn't get the call. This inning here is a key inning for Davis Martin because he's gone deep in the game. He's approaching 80 pitches, and he's got 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order, and Marte and Carroll, the first 2, are pretty tough to retire.
Flare into center field. It's going to fall in front of Peters. So Marte with his 2nd hit today to start this bottom of the 6th.
He doesn't hit this one hard. He hits it in a good spot. It is a breaking ball that stayed up in the zone.
White Sox won game 1 of this series 11-5, and it was a really good performance by Sean Burke. He went 6 innings. That's what they're trying to get out of Davis Martin here today.
That was an outstanding performance. He said he had the best curveball probably he's had all year. I was able to talk with Jonathan Cannon, by the way, and the news is pretty good. He had a bullpen session. He said he felt very good, and for him and the Sox, that's a nice thing to happen. There he is, Jonathan.
On the ground, this could be 2. Colts Montgomery steps on the back for 1. Double play turn. 2 away here in the 6th.
It's our Steinhoffels double play. Steinhoffels donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference. And this one certainly does. In a tie ball game, You got 2 outs, and Davis Martin is still getting it done.
With the way the bullpen has been struggling, this performance is so big for Davis Martin.
Plus, you don't have any off days. You're going home 6 straight games, no off days, and you want to make sure your bullpen is as fresh as possible.
The good news is that the big leverage arms are rested and available to go in this game if Will Venable needs them.
Quiet out there to this point.
That was filthy.
I mean, it looks like a strike when it leaves Davis's hand and then just disappears down and in. Watch it again. 82 miles an hour, so you get a little something on it.
1-2. Have some. A little extra giddy up from Davis Martin as he gets through 6. When we come back, Munetaka Murakami, he is due up looking for his 6th straight game with a home run.
Your home for White Sox baseball.
We are tied at 1 as we start the 7th inning. And Reese McGuire telling home plate umpire that the pitcher has to look for him to be ready in the box first before he comes set. With the catching duties today, he is 0 for 2. Offensively, the White Sox have 8 hits. At the big inning, the 3rd inning where they scored their lone run, it was bases loaded and that just double play ending the threat.
Heads up play by Perdomo. Today's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender, so level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank.
Top of the order, Andrew Benintendi. Benny said the thing he does love about hitting leadoff, he's getting 5 or 6 at bats a game. So he says that's the best part. He can get more looks.
And not being a prototypical leadoff hitter, I'm a guy you would think with a 400 on base percentage, a guy who can bunt and run and do all those things. But I think if he just stays to what he's done his whole career, that's all Will wants of him. And he mentioned that. I mean, he's a pull hitter, so he can think about maybe going the opposite way, but that's not his strength. His strength is right center field, maybe on the line and right.
He did go around.
Corey Blazer didn't need any help that time. He saw it all the way, and then he's going to take his time out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. With Murakami waiting on deck. He has turned into must-see TV every time he steps up to the plate.
And they're starting to pay attention nationally.
Every article you read, every national show, there is a mention of Murakami now and what he is doing on a daily basis. Outside corner, called strike 3. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. We take a look at the pitches that Murakami has seen so far here in this ballgame.
Yeah, I don't think it's coincidental that he's not seeing anything out a way where he can extend his arms. When they do throw it in the zone, they're trying to jam him. Otherwise, they pushed him off the plate inside and tried to go high and away. But the league is trying to find some sort of answer for a guy that's just about hitting everything in sight. So Ginkgo's going to depart, as Chicago Sports Network is your home for White Sox baseball. Stream every game plus pre and post game coverage with Chuck and Ozzie, all on the CHSN app. You can start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. New pitcher in the ballgame, Juan Murillo, who we've seen in this series, out for the 13th time with a fine ERA of 2.38.
Let's see if Murakami can get something to hit here in the 7th inning as he swings through 99 miles per hour.
And he's got a big fastball. This will be a test, especially if he stays with that fastball upper part of the zone.
Did go upstairs at 100.
Yeah, he's going to stay up there.
Murakami behind in the count, 0-2.
Nice job of laying off that one, because that was enticing, but up and inside.
Two outs here in the 7th inning. And nothing but heat as Murakami goes down swinging. Ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Davis Martin starts this bottom of the 7th on the mound.
They're going to challenge it. Looked to me like it was a little wide, but we'll have to see.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
No, he doesn't. The batter's challenging the call strike.
Lavillo has to be happy with that. I don't know why he was upset in the first place.
So both teams with one challenge remaining.
Okay, so yeah, he made. I like the arm action. You got to work on that because it's not a natural motion. You go to touch your head and the elbow comes out. Got to be very careful with Vargas. He's probably right now as hot as anybody in this lineup.
Two balls and a strike. Well, this is what he has done so far in this series. In the opener on Tuesday, that was his last at bat of the game.
That kept the streak alive. Then he turns around from the other side and shows you that he can do it both ways.
3 straight plate appearances with a home run. Sticks out the bat to the left side. Vargas waits for the big hop. And one away here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Davis Martin, what he has done as a starter has been incredible. His ERA just over 2. All other starters, their ERA is over 5. Clearly, he's become the ace of the staff.
Well, he's also making the big pitch when he's had to. He's been in some trouble here, but he's been able to get himself out of it. And the fact that he's taken this game into the 7th inning has to be gratifying for him and certainly for Zach Bove. And so it continues. Nice play by Vargas as he pours it across. And Davis continues to throw strikes.
Last time on the mound was Friday for Davis Martin in Sacramento. He went 7 strong, only gave up 1 run in the 9-2 win. Looking to go 7 again here today. Pitch count is at 94, so it is getting up there.
Last time up, Arenado squared one up, but fortunately, it was right at Antonacci.
1-2. And that's just a professional at bat there by Arenado. Finds the vacant hole on the right side for a single. Time now for a message from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
The memorable moment presented by Prevagen is the day of Davis Martin, and he was just outstanding. 6 1/3, 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, a season high, just the lone run so far, and 1 walk. He was mixing up a steady diet of good, solid breaking balls to right and left-handers both. The fastball was lively, and he leaves with a man on. So Grant Taylor comes on for the 10th time. His ERA a tick under 4.
Arenado takes his lead on at first with 1 out. As Grant Taylor, the flamethrower, faces Barossa here. He did go around.
What a huge difference that is. 1-1 instead of 2-0. He'll take that every day.
That has been the pitch that has helped Grant Taylor earlier this season, that breaking ball that really changes the eye level and the speeds at the plate. Comes back with the heater. Has he been the most dependable arm out of the bullpen, you think, this season?
I think he's been pretty good, and I know there's a lot of confidence in him by the entire staff. They're very happy with the progress so far. He's still a very young pitcher, still feeling his way. When he accepts the role that has been thrust upon him, I think he's going to be a dominant pitcher.
Wipeout breaking ball. Out number 2.
If he gets ahead and then he can use this, there's not too many people around going to hit him. You're looking at a 99 to 100 mile an hour fastball, and there comes an 86 miles an hour hammer. That one just disappeared out of the zone.
Alek Thomas is 0 for 1. And a challenge by Thomas.
The batter's challenge to call strike.
He thought it was high, but it seems to me like it had the whole plate. Or most of it anyway.
The call is confirmed. Arizona has 1 remaining challenge.
This one hard hitting to left field, and Tanachi looking up, and this one's going to go off the wall. He will get it back in. Arenado's held at third. A double from Thomas.
Gives an idea how strong he is. Now he has an opposite field home run in this series. It's a high fastball, and he is able to just hit the daylights out of it. With the roof open, that one is 15 rows back in left center field. It was not. And they haven't crossed the plate yet. Nice job by Antonacci of not getting trapped too close to the wall to play the carom. He got it back in, and it froze the runner at third base.
So Jose Fernandez will be the pinch hitter in the 9-hole. As this becomes a big at-bat in this ball game. Runners on at second and third with 2 outs.
See some pretty lofty numbers in the early going for Fernandez.
maybe a cutter to start the at-bat to Fernandez.
Well, if McGuire does call that hook, he's got to be really good at blocking anything down, because that's a tough pitch to handle. Tried another cutter, and that one didn't work out quite as well. That actually backed up.
Taylor trying to get out of this jam in the 7th inning. 1-1.
Just leaned back at 99 and threw it right by him.
Just like we saw from Murillo. White Sox have a flamethrower of their own. One-two pitch.
He almost got the swing. I mean, Fernandez was thinking about it, started it, stopped it.
Where do you go here at 2-2 in this at bat?
I throw him a chest high fastball because he was a little tardy on the 2nd strike.
Taylor deals.
That was his high cutter, and Fernandez was able to stay alive.
Arenado representing the go-ahead run on at 3rd. 2-2. Fastball by him. Big pitch from Grant Taylor.
Went back to the fastball. Just as the 2nd strike was right there. Davis Martin ecstatic. He'll get a no decision, but he was just outstanding. And we'll see if Vargas, for the 4th straight game, can hit a home.
Top of the 8th we go. The deciding game here in this 3-game series as Miguel Vargas swings at the first one in the air to right center field. Long run for Thomas, but he gets there for out number 1. Well, between innings, when Grant Taylor came back off the field, Davis Martin so grateful because Arenado was Davis Martin's runner. It was stranded at 3rd. And that means Davis Martin, his ERA is lowered to 2.01 now.
Well, he didn't deserve a loss in this one, so it's a nice job by Grant Taylor as he just reaches back, throws that high fastball, gets out of the inning, and the game's still tied at 1.
You can tell they like each other, they're having fun with each other, and now we're seeing better baseball because of it as James McCann goes in to catch behind the plate. Well hit, slicing away from Thomas, but he is able to knock it down, holding Montgomery to a single.
That could turn out to be a game saver because that one gets by and there's a chance at least for an inside the park home run. He can't get this ball, but when he realizes he's going to come up short, he's able to catch it on the hop. I mean, with the glove down to control that baseball, that's one of the better plays you'll see in this game, only you won't see it in the box score.
Grounded to 3rd, Arenado off the short hop, one at 2nd, and Pereira beats it out at 1st. Let's go to Brooke for a trip down on the farm.
Tanner McDougal is back on the mound tonight in Charlotte, and he's been really solid to start the season. Through 4 starts, he's got a 3.26 ERA. Opponents are hitting just 156 against him, and he struck out 22 over 19 innings. So the swing and miss stuff is really showing up early. Another opportunity for him tonight just to keep building on that, guys.
Well, opponent's batting average at 156, that's very impressive. He's got a big fastball, and he's a guy that's destined for the major leagues. I think the only question is when.
Well, the White Sox will use a pinch runner, Derek Hill replacing Pereira at 1st. So Steve, with speed on, you got to wonder, will the White Sox try to put Hill in motion to get him in scoring position here with 2 outs in the 8th?
I'd like to think so, yes.
There he goes, a really good jump by Hill. And that ball gets past, but not far enough as Marte was backing up. Stolen base for Derek Hill.
James McCann does not have a great arm these days. And he short hops. This is a good job by Marte. He's backing up Perdomo, and he keeps the ball out of center field and keeps Hill at second base.
So the go-ahead run for the Sox now on at second. Ball one strike to count here to Sam Antonacci.
The Sox are going to run on any of these outfielders. The arms are just not great.
Barosa's in left, Thomas is in center, and Corbin Carroll in right field.
Carroll has improved a bit of arm strength, but it's still not what you would consider a right fielder's arm. That's supposed to be the best arm in the outfield. He does not have a right fielder's arm, but he does have a big bat.
This one has been tight the whole way. Diamondbacks scored one in the first. White Sox scoring their one run in the third. Antonacci thought about it, able to hold up that swing, and it's now full. Dropped with a couple hits, waits on deck. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud. We take a look at Davis Martin, the starter, 7 strikeouts today.
The slider was good. Everything was good. The four-seamer, 4-2-1, one on a curveball. It's a season high, and when you can strike people out in the zone, and he did that 4 times, that shows you how good the stuff is, because it's tough to get it by major league hitters in the strike zone.
First pitch swinging. And a single into center field to start this bottom of the 8th for Perdomo. It is time now for a preview of White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling. We check in with our guys, Chuck and Ozzie.
Ozzie, first 2 games of this series, they combined, both the White Sox and D-backs, for 34 runs. We got 2 on the scoreboard here today. How's this going to end?
That's part of the game. You know, I mean, hopefully the White Sox turn those bat once again. They had a couple people on base. They don't let him bring him in. We got to wait. Taylor hold those guys out there.
Yes, and then score in the 9th. We'll see you on the postgame show. Back to you guys in Arizona.
I appreciate that. Ozzie, another strong fit. 2 hits today for Ketel Marte. Pops this one up into shallow center. Peters comes in for the first out here in this bottom of the 8th.
Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places, and the place we're going to go is Chicago for 6 games at home with Washington and the Angels. Then the off day, and it's on to San Diego Friday the 1st.
The Diamondbacks, after this one, they will head to Mexico and a Mexico City series against the Padres this weekend.
They're playing 2 games down there, and they certainly do love baseball, so that should be exciting. The crowds should be amazing.
I've always wanted to take in one of those international games. This will be the 3rd regular season visit for Major League Baseball to Mexico City. And it will count as 2 home games for the Diamondbacks. So 2 of their home 81 games will be played in Mexico. Breaking ball drops in, strike 1. 1-1 the count here to Corbin Carroll.
Carroll's hit one ball very hard today, but fortunately it was well foul.
Sox fans, City Connect Fridays return tomorrow. Catch the team in the Bulls crossover uniforms every Friday night and shop the full collection at the team store. For more information, head to thewhitesox.com/city.
So far, and hopefully this continues, no errors by either team in the entire series.
Check on Perdomo at first.
He will steal bases, but he hasn't been wildly successful. Now, he has swiped 6, but he's been gunned down 3 times. I think Perdomo was just measuring the lead he could get there. He still is dangerous on the base path.
Taylor takes a peek before he comes set. Breaking balls fouled away. Two. Slow roller to the right side. Mydroth charging the underhand flip in time for out number 2 as Perdomo now moves into scoring position. Well, this is the man who drove in the only run of the game for the Diamondbacks. Came all the way back in the first inning. His RBI double. A lot of breaking balls from Grant Taylor in this outing.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good about that overhand hook. And because it comes out of approximately the same spot as the fastball, he's confused a lot of these Diamondback hitters.
Breaking ball to a fastball, and he's quickly out in front 0-2.
Most guys that throw the overhand hook, as Grant does, will throw high fastballs simply because they do come out of the same spot. And there's the deception in the at-bat.
Curveball, fastball, curveball. What's the next pitch now in this sequence?
High fastball, maybe just out of the zone, you would think.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball by him. How about that? Giddy up at 100.
He just leaned back, did a little extra, as they say on that, and threw it by him.
Joining us, let's get you caught up in what you missed. It was the Diamondbacks getting on the board first. An RBI double from Adrian Del Castillo, 1-0.
Then the Sox battle back. Miguel Vargas, hanging breaking ball, takes it right back up the middle, and the game's tied at 1.
Davis Martin did his job. 7 strikeouts over 6 1/3.
That's a season high for him, and he was brilliant today. And we got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. It's their closer, Paul Sewald. On for the 12th time, the ERA 1.93. And as odd as it sounds, you can occasionally get to a really good closer in a non-save situation, even in a tie game. It is a non-save situation, and see if the Sox can try to take advantage of that.
You know, it's fascinating, Steve. First 2 games of this series, the roof was open. White Sox had 25 hits, including a double, 2 triples, and 7 home runs. With the roof closed today, the White Sox have 9 hits, all singles.
Well, it's not too surprising because it's played like that since they opened this stadium. Except for the time when they couldn't open the roof and they had to play everything closed. Now they can. And that's 3 straight balls. Chase aboard to lead off this inning is a big plus.
3-0. A high strike called as Mydroth will use the White Sox final challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Let's take a look at this call. And it is a ball.
Call's overturned. Chicago has one remaining challenge.
How about that? Yeah, I mean, that is the go-ahead run.
You've said it. That's why you stash at least one challenge for late in the game, and Mydroth used it to perfection.
This is a bunt situation. Let's see if he gets it down. Arenado right in on Peters' doorstep. So the best bunt would be up the first base line if he is going to bunt.
Peters squares, gets it down, and is McCann fielding and will throw out Peters. The sacrifice bunt advances Mydroth to second.
Well done by Peters. He got it just far enough where McCann had only one play, that being the first base.
So Edgar Caro will be the pinch hitter for Reese McGuire in the 9-hole.
If Edgar can come away with a base hit here, it would do a lot for his confidence, because he's had a tough year to this point.
First pitch to Caro, way out of the zone, ball one.
Seawald almost threw that one to the backstop.
Non-save opportunity, and Seawald has not been his sharpest in the 9th. Pickoff play at second, and Mydroth sniffs it out.
Not an easy thing to get a middle infielder to fall for one of those pickoff plays, because he runs the pickoff play a lot for the Sox.
2 balls, no strikes. Seawald has not been close.
And he's very frustrated with himself. Hopefully that continues. Sir Anthony Dominguez.
So Seawald grooves one in there.
Loaizaga throwing in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. We've seen him in this series also.
One. Mydroth, the go-ahead runner at second. One out here in this 9th inning. Inside, ball 4. Create your own game plan with a 10-ticket flex pack. You pick the matchups and the seats. You get total freedom, total fun. And for more information, visit whitesox.com/ticket plans or call or text 312-674-1000. Adam. Oh, this is a little stall tactic to get the bullpen some more time.
Loaizaga hadn't had an opportunity to get up and loose. There he is with a hat this time, which is always preferable.
Because now the lineup turns over. Andrew Benintendi at the plate and Murakami waiting on deck.
Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach, went to the mound, had his say.
Benintendi steps up with this game tied at 1.
He got a pitch that time, and I think he's unhappy that he didn't hit it hard. Seawald trying to get ahead, laid one right over the middle, maybe a little higher than Benny would have liked.
1 from Seawald. He just doesn't look comfortable on the mound.
And there's something about a closer in a non-save situation that makes it more difficult. You seem to get that adrenaline rush when the save is on the line. That was only 92, but it was the location as opposed to the velocity that got it by him.
Missing outside, ball 2 here to Benny. Tense moments here in this 9th as the White Sox a chance to win this series. 2-2. Benintendi drives this one deep to right field. Get out! It's a Benny bomb in the 9th, and the Sox take the lead.
Just his 2nd home run of the year. He now has driven in 10. That could very well be his biggest hit of the year. So even with the roof closed, Benny gets most of this one and rides it out of the park.
The Sox have been waiting for that big blast all game long, and it's Andrew Benintendi clutch in the 9th.
And the 2 walks to set it up, and then the bomb.
Let's not forget, we got the 3 big bats now coming up in a row, trying to keep their streak alive. Murakami has homered in 5 straight games, looking to make it 6. 0-2. Murakami did not get all of this one, as Carroll will make the grab for out number 2. And Steve, let's take another look at that home run.
Well, it was dramatic. And it was right down the middle at 92. It's a 4-seam fastball, but it doesn't sink. Seawald does not get on top of it. 410 feet later, 3 on the board for the Sox in a 4-1 game. So that's going to be it for Seawald. He will fall victim to what closers usually do or occasionally do, which is give it up in a non-save situation. And now there's 3 big outs to go after the Sox are scoreboard. Jonathan Loaizaga on for the 12th time. His ERA a tick under 4. You might remember him for his days with the Yankees. He still has a pretty good fastball, not quite where it was.
Now remember, Miguel Vargas has his homer streak intact. 3 straight games, looking to make it 4. He is 1 for 3 today. His RBI single coming in the 3rd.
There is Sir Anthony. If it stays right here, it will be a save situation.
One. And Will Venable said something to us today this morning, and it was really hit. He said, with the way we've been swinging, we felt like last night we were never really out of that game. And in a game like this, you always feel like you got a chance. Miguel Vargas gives this one a ride, and it's going to get caught at the track. Oh, Miguel. We've seen great pitching, we've seen great defense, and then Benintendi gives the Sox the lead in the top of the 9th.
And now it's up to Sir Anthony Dominguez to come on and nail it down. On for the 10th time, his ERA above 5.5. When you haven't been out there in a bit, the only thing you worry about is not loss of stuff. You worry about loss of location, and we'll see with a 3-run lead if Sir Anthony gets the job done.
He will face 5, 6, 7 in this Diamondbacks lineup as Edgar Caro is the new catcher here in this 9th. We last saw Dominguez pitch on Sunday in the finale of the series against the A's. Two balls and a strike. Well hit to right field. It is Hill lining up all the way for the catch. And the first out here in the bottom of the 9th.
It's a very happy man right there, as you would expect. Not the easiest thing in the world to hit the ball out of here with the roof closed, as Vargas found out, because he got all of that. Benny did also.
He told me earlier, just don't ask me about my swing. I asked him about it back in 2024. He went in a little slump. I told him it will never happen again. Benny, just do whatever you need to do right now.
Couple of hits today, but the biggest he saved for the 9th inning.
And Dominguez out in front here. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Arenado giving up all thought of power in that situation, and just as he did earlier in the game, he was looking to take that one to right field. That is a 2-strike approach. He's been around long enough, even though he's been a prolific home run hitter. He knows he's got to get on.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
One out away as that one stays in the middle of the plate, but he gets it by him.
If this score holds, this would just be the 2nd series defeat for the Diamondbacks all season long.
And beating them at home would be a good trick. You know, the Sox have played fewer home games than any team in the division. So on a challenge, ooh, piece of the plate.
The call is confirmed. Arizona's out of challenges for the remaining in the game.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. So that means the Diamondbacks are out of challenges, but what are you saving them for?
Yeah, I was going to say, with 1 out to go, you might as well empty the bag.
And there's a challenge from Caro.
The catcher is challenging the call of ball.
Once again, ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
That one down and out of the zone.
Confirmed. Chicago is out of challenges for the remaining of the game.
All right, so everybody has used up their challenges. As Dominguez trying to shut this one down. 1-1. The Sox are now 1 strike away from wrapping up this series in Arizona.
There's a lot of good things that will come out of this game, but one of the things is this was a tough and tight game all the way. And the Sox battled, the Diamondbacks battled. Sox have a big edge right now.
1-2. Yes, sir. Sir Anthony Dominguez shuts the door in the 9th. Benny, his 3-run home run, is the hero, and the Sox will win this game 4-1 and take this series 2-1.
Come on the road, take 2 series, come home 4-2. Very successful. This one well played, tough and tight all the way, and I'll see you on the plane.
This quality play started on this road trip. The White Sox go 4-2 on this road trip. Looking forward to coming back to Chicago. It is a final. White Sox beat the Diamondbacks 4-1. For Brooke Fletcher, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriff, and thank you so much for spending your Thursday with us. White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling comes your way next. Chuck, Ozzie, guys, it's all yours.